Picture this for a second. You're standing in the Peruvian Andes, around 3,000 years ago. It's dry, like really dry. The ground is cracked, the sun is brutal, and rain barely shows up. Most people would look at a place like that and think, yeah, nothing grows here. No water, no crops, no future. But that's not what happened. Because somehow, people turned that exact same land into something alive. Green fields, healthy crops, water that never ran out. And here's the strange part. They didn't have pumps, no irrigation systems, no modern tools at all. So how did they do it? Turns out, they weren't bringing water to their land at all. They were just making sure it never left. And once you hear this, it's going to feel obvious. Like one of those things where you go, wait, why aren't we all doing this? Today we call it a swale. Most people have never even heard of it, which is kind of strange, because it might be one of the simplest solutions we have. And once you understand how it works, you start to notice something. Every time it rains, thousands of gallons of water. Before you understand a swale, you have to see the problem clearly, because right now, almost everything we do with water is backwards. When rain hits your property, we treat it like a problem. Get it off the roof, away from the house, out to the street, fast. But here's what most people don't realize. Water moving fast is powerful, and that power comes at a cost. It strips away your topsoil, the most valuable layer you have. And once that's gone, your land can't hold water anymore. So the storm ends, the water is gone, and your plants are still thirsty. That's the system we live in. Now watch what happens. When you change just one thing, not the weather, not the soil, just the shape of the land. A swale is just a trench. But it has one rule. It must be perfectly level. No slope, no direction. Just so when water hits it, everything changes. It doesn't run. It doesn't rush. It just stops. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because when water stops moving across the surface, it doesn't just disappear. It goes somewhere else. Gravity pulls it down, straight into the ground. Not fast, but steady. And once it's underground, everything changes, because down there, the sun can't touch it. No sun means almost no evaporation. So instead of losing water in hours, you keep it for weeks. But it gets even better. That water doesn't just sit there. It slowly moves, quietly, underground. Just a few inches per day. Barely noticeable, but over time, it spreads across your land. Think of it like this. You've turned your land into a giant sponge. Or better yet, a natural storage system. An underground reservoir that you filled for free. All right, so how do you actually build one? Before you touch a shovel, you need to do one thing first. Watch your land. Wait for a good rain. Then go outside and pay attention. Where does the water collect? Where does it slow down? Your land is already telling you the answer. You just have to listen. Because water always follows the same rules. Next step, you need to find level ground. And no, you can't just guess this. This is an A-frame level. It's simple, but incredibly accurate. When the string hits center, you're perfectly level. You walk across your land, step by step, marking each level point. This line is where your swale goes. Now you dig. Nothing fancy. About a foot deep, and maybe a foot and a half wide. Here's the part people mess up. The dirt you remove goes on the downhill side, always. So at this point, you've built the system. The trench is in place. The berm is formed. Everything looks simple, almost too simple. And this is where most people stop, because nothing dramatic happens right away. No instant transformation, no overnight results, just still land and waiting. Then the first real rain comes, and this is where everything starts to change. For the first time, you see it working. Water doesn't rush away. It stops. It settles. It sinks in. Then days pass, then weeks, and something subtle starts to happen. The ground feels different. Moisture stays longer. The soil softens. And even without planting anything yet, life starts coming back. And that's the moment you realize this isn't just a trench. It's a system that's already working before you even plant a single tree. And now, you're ready for the next step. Now this is where everything comes together. Up until this point, all you've really done is reshape the land. You've slowed the water down. You've given it a place to stay. You've allowed it to do what it naturally wants to do. But now, something deeper begins to happen. Because this isn't just about water anymore. It's about life. When you plant on the berm, you're not just placing a tree in the ground. You're connecting it to something hidden, right beneath the surface. There's a slow-moving reserve of moisture, a quiet system, working constantly, day and night, even when you're not there. And the roots find it. They grow toward it, naturally. They don't struggle. They don't compete. They simply follow the water. And over time, those roots go deeper than you expect, deeper than surface watering could ever reach. So when the dry season comes, when the heat builds, when everything around you starts to fade, your system doesn't collapse. It keeps going, because it was never dependent on the surface in the first place. And that's the difference. Most systems fight nature. This one works with it. But there's one final piece that determines whether this succeeds or fails. And it's something most people ignore. The surface? Bare soil looks clean, but it's exposed, vulnerable. The sun pulls moisture out of it, faster than you think. Within hours, what you stored can start disappearing. That's why mulch matters. A thick, natural layer, wood chips, straw, leaves. It acts like a shield. It locks moisture in. It protects the soil from heat. And underneath, something incredible starts to happen. The soil comes alive, worms return, microbes multiply, structure improves, and the land slowly rebuilds itself. At that point, you're no longer maintaining a system. The system is maintaining itself. And that's where everything changes, because now you're not just saving water. You're creating resilience. You're creating independence. Think about it. Every time it rains, your land is being recharged, not drained, not wasted, stored, quietly, efficiently, for weeks, sometimes months. 1 inch of rain is thousands of gallons of water, and most of it we let disappear. We rush it away. We treat it like a problem, and then we spend money trying to replace it. But you don't have to do that anymore. Because once you understand this, you stop chasing water. You stop depending on systems that can fail, and you start building something that lasts, something simple, something quiet, something that works, whether you're there or not. The rain is still falling. The land is still ready. The only question is, are you ready to catch it?